Today, Tuesday of the second week of Lent, we come to the church Santa Balbina. Saint Balbina is a saint of the early Roman Church, about whom little is known for certain. An early tradition holds that she was the daughter of a Roman tribune who was martyred for the faith. Having lived a holy life as a virgin, she would later be buried with him in the catacombs, with her relics now being venerated in this place. Located near the baths of Corcala, the church which bears her name stands in a peaceful area on the side of the Aventine Hill. In ancient Roman times, this was the location of the home of Lucius Felix Chilonus, a wealthy Roman, who built a large house for himself here in the early 4th century. This likely included a large hall, because the central part of the current church dates back to about that period. Some parts existed even earlier than this, dating back to the 2nd century after Christ. The complex later came into Christian hands, and around the year 370, a substantial renovation heightened the walls and modified the internal layout of the church, essentially giving it the lines it has today. Although the early title of this church is not known for certain, it's thought by many that this was referred to as the Titulus Theocridae, possibly making reference to an early sponsor or founder of the church in this area. Tradition has it that it was at this church that the Emperor Constantine bade farewell to the Pope on his departure for Constantinople. The overall appearance of the church of today, simple and austere, calls to mind those early decades of public worship in this city. As we enter, we find on our right a beautiful tomb from the medieval period, belonging to a papal chaplain and transferred here from the original St. Peter's built by Constantine. Walking on, we see the restored chancel screen as well as the center aisle, which is decorated with ancient Roman mosaics, brought here at the time of the restorations from another site in the city. The side chapels are a particular highlight of this church, containing some well-preserved medieval frescoes and floor mosaics. Now at the altar, we see the casket underneath, holding the relics of Saints Balbina, Felicissimus, and 3 other martyrs. Above in the apse is a Baroque fresco depicting Saint Balbina in the glory of heaven. Moving towards the door of the church, the 3rd chapel from the altar is that of the crucifix, while the chapel to the left of this one almost completely preserves its decoration. In the center are the Blessed Virgin and the Christ Child, flanked by Saints John the Baptist, Paul, Peter, and James. Above is shown Christ's blessing, his face one of majesty, an appropriate image to reflect upon before we take our leave of this church.